I recently had a very strange interaction with famous YouTuber and slime toy icon, MrBeast. So here's how this all started. About 2 months ago, I read an article claiming that MrBeast is now worth $1 billion. Following this, I made the impulsive and regrettable decision to post this musing on X.com. MrBeast makes history by becoming the first person to become a billionaire without selling their soul. This was possible because he never had a soul to begin with. When I posted this, I thought this would be another empty musing to release into the wild and never think about again. But just a few days after I posted that, I was messaged by a pretty popular YouTuber. Now, I will not say which YouTuber MrBeast asked to reach out to me on his behalf, but I will tell you that said YouTuber is a lawyer. In fact, much like Charlie Kelly, you could say that he is a bird lawyer. So when a famous lawyer internet personality slides into your DMs to tell you that one of the most powerful and famous YouTubers on the planet that you have actively been making fun of wants to have a word, it's not the smoothest start to your morning. And so I gave MrBeast a follow, and I was then met with this string of DMs. Howdy! Saw your tweet about me not having a soul. Would love to chat on Discord or phone sometime, because I think there might be a misunderstanding. No worries if you don't want to. So let me throw this over to you guys. How do you react when one of the most famous and wealthy Americans on the planet reaches out to you because he wants to get in a Discord call so he can explain to you that he was in fact born with a soul? But after thinking about it for a few months, I've decided that it's time to do the right thing and apologize to Jimmy. And that is why tomorrow I will be posting to this channel my formal and completely sincere apology to MrBeast. And I hope you will all be there for that, and that you will treat this topic with the level of respect and seriousness that Jimmy deserves. But for those of you who walked in late, I am here today to deliver a completely sincere apology to famous YouTube celebrity MrBeast. So, Jimmy, if you're watching this, Jimmy Beast, James Stephen Beast, I am sorry that I posted on X.com that you don't have a soul. I'm sorry that made you feel like shit when you read that. I'm also sorry that shortly before that, I gave your MrBeast slime doll a very negative and unconstructive review. I'm also sorry that in said video, I claimed that your face reminds me of Christian Bale's performance in American Psycho. I feel that I should also apologize that during that toy review, I wished eternal damnation upon whatever creative team was behind the toy's design, and that I publicly threatened to assassinate the man who invented glitter. I have since been informed that he is no longer with us. May God rest his soul, but it was still heavily inappropriate for me to specifically say that I wanted to buy a gun and shoot the man who invented glitter in the face. I'm also very, very sorry that in that video, I implied that Feastable chocolate bars don't taste good. I've had a few now, and they're fine. They're good enough. They're alright. On that note, the other day I was shopping, and I looked at the candy section, and I saw that Feastables is now making a knockoff version of the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And just stay in your fucking lane, man! What the fuck are you doing? But it's not just the public stuff that I need to come clean about. Jimmy, I'm sorry that I watched a Big Joel video about how your Amazon Prime show is almost unwatchable, and that the editing lacked a coherent, overarching story in spite of how much material you clearly recorded. But it's not just the public stuff that I need to come clean about. Jimmy, I'm sorry that I watched a Big Joel video about how your Amazon Prime show is almost unwatchable and that the editing failed to construct any kind of coherent, overarching story. I'm also sorry that I privately told all of my friends that MrBeast Burger tasted like day-old Shake Shack, covered in taco seasoning, and thrown into a microwave. Additionally to all that, I'm also sorry that I took those DMs that you sent to me in confidence, and I shared them with the world, and I then uploaded them onto Redbubble.com, and began selling them on stickers, coasters, t-shirts, shower curtains. And finally, I'm sorry that I subscribed to T-Series in 2019 entirely to spite you. You know, I thought this would be the end to my interactions with James Beast, but after I shared these interactions with the world, he actually messaged me again, and I was very shocked by what he had to say. And I'll explore some of that tomorrow. But for those of you who walked in late, for the last few days we have been discussing my ongoing interactions with 4-time Kids' Choice Awards winner, Mr. Beast. This all started when I made a post on X.com saying that Jimmy was born without a soul. Jimmy then reached out to me saying there had been a misunderstanding, 2 words like a teacher that can't find love, a misunderstanding, and that he wanted to get in a call. If you're wondering what happened right after that, I got sick for like a week. And by the time I was better, it felt like it had been too long to restart that whole thing, so I just kinda left him on red. But much to my surprise, 2 months later, Mr. Beast started messaging me again.
Hey! We're doing a follow-up to Team Trees and Team Seas, which raised $50 million and already have 400 top creators on board and thousands of others making content on it, dropping August the 1st.
Go!
Would love for you to join. It's called Team Water. For every dollar raised, a person will get a year of clean drinking water. Our goal is $40 million and to give 2 million people clean water for decades. It'll launch August the 1st and will be a massive trend. Want to dominate the internet for good? Down to join and post a video? More info. Unlike my last message, please don't leak this one.
Don't!
Even though you hate me, I would still love for you to help save kids' lives. Heart.
So there's a lot to unpack there. Firstly, I've just now realized that I never figured out if this is what Mr. Beast wanted to talk to me about when he reached out back in March. As far as I can throw it, there are 3 different options. Number 1 is that he truly only wanted to talk about that tweet that hurt his feelings. Number 2 is that he was only using that post as an excuse to pitch Team Water to me privately. And number 3 is that he was going to bring up Team Water as a piece of evidence to prove that he was born with a soul. After I read these, I just sat there in shock. And I thought to myself, you want me to channel my inherent distrust of you as a person into content that I am producing exclusively to promote your new charity, which will surely give you a ton of good press in a year where you desperately need that. And furthermore, you want me to try and convince people who do not like you right now that they should donate money to your project. I'm in. Yes, I am now a part of Team Water. They already sent me the free t-shirt, so I think it's too late to back out now. The quality of this print is like weird. Ironically, I don't know if this would survive the washing machine. Gonna have to get my Team Water shirt dry cleaned. Anyways, if you want to donate to this charity to give clean water to kids and adults all around the world, you can go to the link in the description or my new domain, MrBeastHasNoSoul.com. Yes, that's a real domain, yes, I own it, and yes, it does lead to the Quinton Reviews Team Water landing. But for those of you who are still hesitant, tomorrow I will be going over some of the press material that Jimmy gave me, so stick around for that. But for those of you who walked in late, to put it briefly, this has been a weird year for me. Since yesterday, I know a lot of people have criticized me for selling out to Big Water, but I think when you guys see the original pitch video that Jimmy sent out to all these different creators, you'll understand why I had to say yes.
Remember 5 years ago?
No.
Well, we're back, and this time we want to raise $40 million to give 2 million people in need access to clean water for decades.
Yeah, I mean, this is such star power. I mean, you know, even just the hosts. We got Jimmy Beast, we got James Beast, and then we got Mark Reber. He used to work at NASA, now he makes videos teaching kids how gears work or something. He's like Bill Nye, but not funny.
We need you to upload a video to your channel where you promote and educate your audience on Team Water.
Could be a video about some cool water tech, or flooding Fortnite with your Team Water shields.
Damn it, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I do a video about flooding Fortnite with my Team Water shields? I could have done that.
Or just a normal video you already have planned where you just talk about it and add the fundraiser.
Gonna go back and re-edit the Dan Schneider video so that every 30 seconds I plug Team Water.
Which is why we need everyone, including...
Whoa, all my favorite YouTubers, like that guy. That dude. Budget Aiden Ross. Oh, the Twinkie twins. Guy in a jacket. Yeah. Oh, I actually know that one. Oh, sick. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we got a bunch of hip YouTubers, and I'm young and hip, and I recognized all those, and that made me want to be a part of Team Welfare, or whatever it is.
We have to raise, as a community, over $1 million a day. This is gonna be hard. Guys, come on, make a video, please.
Let's do the math right here. MrBeast is a billionaire, and we have to raise $1 million every day, and there are 31 days in August. If MrBeast donated $32 million a day, he would only go bankrupt at the end of day 31. Yeah, like MrBeast could have just donated the $40 million on his own. He's worth $1 billion.
Guys, come on, make a video, please.
He's probably not liquid though, you know. He's probably got like an insane amount of stocks in crypto. I don't want MrBeast to have to pay taxes. That would suck for him.
Or whatever you just normally do. We have a full-time team on standby that you can reach out down below, help you figure out an organic way you can work this into your content.
So a lot of people tend to discuss the allegations of Dan Schneider all at once and with some vagueness. Dan Schneider drank water. He drank water. Donate to Team Water.
1,000 or more other creators upload videos on August 1st as well. So we just dominate the trending page where all our videos are recommending against each other.
I've seen like 2 Team Water videos on my timeline. And this is the big thing that this was the big pitch, is that like we're going to take over the internet. And I don't know if that happened, but it can happen now. We're going to turn Team Water around. We're going to get him to the goal through the MrBeast Has No Soul campaign.
And I need you to click the link in the description down below. Let us know what video you're thinking of uploading in the month of August to educate your viewers.
What will your Team Water video be about? I will be shitting on you for clout, and also I'll tell people to do the water stuff if I remember. Any other questions or comments? Do you have scientific proof that the human soul exists? Because you acted like you did, and I want to see it. The soul stuff, not your... Yeah, so the basics is that this looks like it's a good campaign. It's gonna go to reputable organizations that are going to help. You know, the big quote is that for just $1, you're providing someone with a year of clean, safe water. With all jokes aside, there is actually one very good reason that I personally wanted to join Team Water, and I will tell you that reason tomorrow. For those of you who walked in late, we are on day 5 of our ongoing Team Water campaign. So far, we've had a lot of jokes and irony, but this time I want to try and get serious, because I think that access to clean water is a very important thing, and I feel this way because I have had my own personal experience of being exposed to contaminated water. According to the World Health Organization, 1 out of every 3 people on the earth do not have access to clean water, and over 500,000 people die of dehydration every year. The money donated to My Team Water campaign will go towards building water infrastructure, specifically by giving the money to WaterAid, a nonprofit that has been helping people get water around the world for decades. And it's sad to say, the reason things are so bad right now is because of human pollution. It was during our lifetimes that we discovered that rainwater is no longer safe to drink without filtration. Bacteria, filth, and microplastics have fundamentally changed humanity's most important resource. I empathize strongly with people struggling with these issues, because not that long ago, I myself was exposed to contaminated water, and that incident changed my life irreversibly. We are here to review the official MrBeast lab that comes with a state-of-the-art MrBeast action figure. Oh god, it's glitter. Ooh, I hate glitter. I hate glitter more than I hate MrBeast. Oh no, it's on me! Glitter, no! Oh shit! It's getting all over the fucking place!
And who do you think you are? Running around leaving scars.
It's over everything! God, it's on my fucking hands. That's in my skin, people. That's in my skin. I want to find the man who invented glitter, and I want to shoot him. I want to shoot him with a gun. That's hard to look back on even now. It's something that I think about each and every day. And though it might sound crazy, I think this is why MrBeast recruited me. Because on that day, MrBeast committed a sin against me, he committed a sin against my table, and he committed a sin against water. Think about it. Do you really think it's a coincidence that the other main guy running this campaign is Mike Reber, the glitter bomb guy? I don't care if those people were stealing mail. That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. MrBeast needs my help to atone for his water sins. And I think what he really wants and what he would really appreciate is all of you donating to My Team Water campaign and leaving comments vaguely discussing MrBeast's history with polluting water with microplastics. And then all of those comments will then immediately also appear on the main Team Water landing. So if you want to help make a difference, please go to MrBeastHasNoSoul.com. But for those of you who walked in late, for the last few weeks we have been discussing MrBeast and his ongoing quest to prove to the world that he does indeed have a soul, which then evolved into him reaching out and asking me to be a part of his charity campaign, Team Water. Now, there's a very specific reason that I have made this a multi-part saga, because soon enough there will be an interactable element to all of this. But first, I feel the need to stop and clarify some things. The first thing that I've noticed is that a lot of people seem to be under the impression that if you donate to Team Water, the money goes directly into MrBeast's pocket and we have to blindly trust that he's going to do the right thing with it. That's primarily my fault, because a handful of times over these last few videos, I have called Team Water a charity, when in actuality, it is a fundraiser for charity. So MrBeast is not personally running some brand new water conservation charity. He's not gonna wake up on September the 1st, grab a bucket and spade and go, oh wow, I've got $39.8 million. Time to start building water infrastructure. I'll start in my backyard. Instead, that money is going to go towards WaterAid, which is a pre-existing nonprofit that has existed since 1981. The fact that it's a reputable organization and the money actually will go to a good cause run by people who have experience in what they're trying to do, that's the only reason I ever considered actually doing this. And the weird thing is that I've also noticed that a lot of people now think that I like MrBeast, and everyone suddenly seems to think that everything I've said in this series so far is 100% a lie, like I made it all up for some reason. Now, a lot of people have been questioning my motivations throughout this entire series. Some people think I'm doing this because MrBeast is paying me. He's not. Some people think I'm doing this so MrBeast will be friends with me. That's fucking stupid. Some people think that I'm doing this because I think it's funny and for no other reason, and that's the most ridiculous hypothesis. What about my demeanor makes you guys believe that I'm not taking this seriously? But no, I decided this was worth doing because it will have some positive impact, and also because it's funny, and also for the views. For those of you who walked in late, last May and not March, I was contacted by a famous YouTuber who is also a lawyer and has a bird-themed internet persona. And that man told me, as I've said, that MrBeast wanted a word. Since I've been making these videos about MrBeast, I have expected that some of this stuff would be controversial. Obviously, you have to expect that. But this specific part of the story, I never expected to become drama. The problem with these shorts is they have to be 3 minutes or less. So sometimes you just don't have time to go through, the specific details of each and every part. But because of that problem, in one of my shorts, I accidentally led some of you to believe that MrBeast had hired that lawyer YouTuber to come and speak to me as a lawyer representing him. But that didn't happen at all, so I feel like I need to clear the air and explain to you specifically what happened beat by beat. MrBeast wanted to reach out to me after I made a mean joke about him, but the problem was that at the time I did not follow him on any platform. So he went through his list of friends to try and find somebody who I follow on X who could then DM me on his behalf. So the conversation that I had with that YouTuber, who happens to be a lawyer, went something like this. Hey, what's up? It's me, that one YouTuber with a bird-themed name who is also a lawyer. MrBeast wants to talk to you, but he can't DM you because you don't follow him on Twitter. So if you want to talk to MrBeast, follow him on Twitter, I guess. Oh, wow. Yeah, I have been actively making fun of him. He might be kind of upset at me. Oh, damn. That was the entire interaction. Like, that was the start, the middle, and the ending to my interactions with that person. So I was a little surprised when I made that video and I saw people in the comments, going through all of the bird-themed lawyer YouTubers they could think of and saying, fuck this guy, I'm gonna unsubscribe to him because this is an intimidation tactic and he was harassing Quinton. And I was just like, whoa, hold on a damn second. Personally, I don't imagine that MrBeast picked that guy as an intimidation tactic, because in my head I like to think that he messaged like 40 people and that was the one guy who said yes. Another thing that I need to clarify is just because I've been trying to be kind of chaotic and funny throughout this entire series does not mean that I've made this all up. That has been a common recurring problem recently. People coming to me and accusing me of making up all the stories I told in this saga and basically implying that I'm friends with MrBeast, that I've always been friends with MrBeast, and that I made up all of that drama to promote MrBeast. So why did I say yes when he asked me to be part of his water fundraiser? The reason I said yes is that I thought it would be the funniest possible thing to do in that moment. Because think about it. In these videos, I can say whatever I want about Jimmy, and he can't get upset with me because all I'm doing is helping him save kids' lives. And if you don't get why that brings me a little bit of joy, I don't think you've ever had fun in your entire life. But yes, it was indeed a little anxiety-inducing that it was a lawyer who reached out to me as a peer to tell me all this, but I shouldn't have phrased it like that, and maybe I shouldn't have told this story at all, so I just want to, be direct and say, I'm sorry, Quackity. Yep, that's me! You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation!
Over the last 2 weeks, we have discussed in detail the antics of infamous water criminal James Isaac Beast, and of course his glitter bomb building friend Mitchell Russo. But I think we need to get back to the basics, to where this all started. With this horrible thing. This is the MrBeast action figure from the MrBeast Lab Creation Station. If you want the true Jimmy Beast experience, this is the toy for you, as it comes bundled with tiny piles of money alongside Jimmy's famous soulless stare. This thing has brought me nothing but pain and anguish over the last few months, and I think I finally know how to get my payback.
We're gonna do something.
Okay, so here's how this is going to work. For every $20 donated to my campaign, located at MrBeastHasNoSoul.com, it gets the hose for 1 second. On the first day of our campaign, we raised $81, which is why it got the hose for 4 seconds today. So if you want to help support my horrible science experiment and enjoy the catharsis of punishing MrBeast for his many sins, follow this account and consider donating to MrBeastHasNoSoul.com. It's MrBeast versus Water, and personally, I'm Team Water. For those of you who walked in late, what the hell? Here's that clip again. We are now on day 2 of my newest passion project, torturing MrBeast as revenge for everything wrong he has done against the world. Yeah, not too fun being laid out on the pavement, is it, buddy? Not that I would know. Our mission is to fill this MrBeast toy with as much water as we can. Every $20 donated to my campaign at MrBeastHasNoSoul.com means it gets the hose for 1 second.
Alright, so on day 2 of our campaign, we raised $566, which means that we have to turn this hose on for 28 seconds. And I doubt very heavily that this thing is going to survive 28 seconds.
Alright, while we wait for that timer to count down, I thought I'd read some of my favorite donation comments our community has left so far. Turns out MrBeast tapped the tainted water supply. The person that died was your wife. Hydration is good. Spite is a powerful motivator. Water good, MrBeast tiny plastic bad. Please don't leak this donation. So glad to be a part of a campaign to buy a spot for MrBeast in heaven. Hopefully this will be enough to offset everything else he's done. Oh, MrBeast? I thought you said Mr. Weast.
Okay, somehow he has made it to the end of day 2. So that's not good, folks. We should be doing better than that. As you can see, I can't see any soul in here. I'm hunting for it. I do see a bunch of money. Maybe that makes up for something.
If you want to help with this chaotic project, or see just how crazy it can get, follow this account and consider donating to my campaign at MrBeastHasNoSoul.com. For those of you who walked in late, you might be a little confused by the sight of this bloated cadaver sitting in my backyard. I promise I can explain. Welcome to day 3 of an ongoing project where we basically torture MrBeast. We're doing this not only because we've all secretly wanted to for years, but because this project will help bring water to people in need around the world. For every $20 you donate to my campaign at MrBeastHasNoSoul.com, this world-famous billionaire gets the hose for 1 second. So far, it has survived 32 seconds. On the 3rd day of our campaign, we raised $317, meaning we are adding 16 seconds today. So while we watch this clip I accidentally recorded at 50% speed, let's go ahead and check out more donation comments. I wish MrBeast would use his own money to fix the glitter he's piped into clean water supplies instead of getting smaller YouTubers to fundraise for him.
I want to see MrBeast get hosed big and round.
Yeah, I'll add that to my belief system.
Make him pop.
Mr. James T. Beast force-fed me microplastics against my will for multiple years and kidnapped my teeth to use as his own.
My mother is dead. MrBeast is still alive. 1 more second, sir.
End of day 3, he's still going. MrBeast is still in the races. He has lasted a lot longer than I thought he would. He's got a little air in here. I didn't expect that. Now that we have finished that main part of this video, there is something I feel I need to clarify with all of you guys. There has been an ongoing misconception I've seen spread among my audience that these videos have been produced in association with and in collaboration with MrBeast. In fact, some people have basically stated that they believe that MrBeast is planning and co-writing all of these YouTube shorts that I've been making. And that couldn't be further from the truth. And to try and prove that to you guys, I have written a joke that MrBeast couldn't have possibly written in a million years, and I'm now going to read that joke on camera. So a lot of YouTubers love water, which is why so many of us have joined Team Water. But there's one YouTuber that doesn't appreciate water very much right now. That being Dogpack. Because he's currently at the bottom of a lake in Chicago wearing special shoes made out of concrete. Anyways, I was lying. MrBeast did write that joke. And if you want him to know how funny you think that joke that he wrote is, go to MrBeastHasNoStole.com and leave a donation with a comment, and you can tell him exactly how funny you think that one is. Thank you guys so much.
For those of you who walked in late, today is the 4th day in a row that we are testing the limits of how much MrBeast can take and take and take without losing anything. For every $20 given to my campaign at MrBeastHasNoSoul.com, he gets the hose for 1 second, and if you can believe it, he has survived 48 seconds of water. On day 4, you guys donated 29.5 seconds of water, and as I turned on the hose, I prayed that this would bring all of this to an end.
All right, we're going. Yeah, I don't know how he's going to survive this. I mean, it's, you know, we got 20 seconds to go. There's no way he's not going to pop. Oh my God, yeah, he's got to go at some point. Come on, man. Give up. You've put in the good fight. We all want me to be done with this. Come on. Ah, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Even I want me to be done with this. I can't believe it.
I was so frustrated by how things had dragged on that I made a decision. I decided that I would throw in the donations from days 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This added another 11 seconds, and somehow it just wasn't enough. That's right, after all that, Jimmy has somehow found a way to survive. Yes, he is leaking, and yes, he isn't sitting comfortably, but he has not given up the fight.
This thing is really, really resilient. I mean, we have inflated MrBeast so much, and it is still willing to give us more. I can't believe this. He doesn't have feet anymore. His feet have become like weird nipples, and he's leaking everywhere, but he's not popping.
If you want to help, you can donate to my campaign via MrBeastHasNoSoul.com. Every dollar helps support a great cause. Me torturing MrBeast.
Welcome back, everyone, to day 5 of my latest project, torturing MrBeast to help kids in need. You all probably know the rules by now. For every $20 donated to MrBeastHasNoSoul.com, it gets the hose for 1 second. On day 11, we raised $320, meaning that it gets the hose for 16 seconds today. As I watched the water trickle in, I pondered how this thing had pushed through so many obstacles, how it outlasted every expectation I had. I thought of how many times so far I had thought to myself, no way it survives this. But time and time again, I had been proven wrong. Jimmy's resilience was almost admirable. But more than that, it was a problem. What if we couldn't raise enough to see this to the end? What if he was able to keep his composure that long? What if MrBeast wins?
Wow. Wow.
Well, it looks like I killed MrBeast. Oops. MrBeast burst after just 15 additional seconds, meaning that we just barely broke him using the latest day of donations. And I went ahead and did the math, and congratulations to Michelle Lyons. Your donation was the one that killed MrBeast. Now, some of you might feel kind of ripped off, since the lag in between these videos and when they were posted meant that your donations did not contribute to MrBeast's ultimate downfall. Well, I've thought about that, and I think we can do a little bit more here if we want to.
Now the question is, we can keep going if we want. There's many ways to torture MrBeast outside of just inflating him. I could boil him, we can freeze him, we can torture him, I can drop blocks of ice on him, I can hit him with a hammer. I don't know what that has to do with water, but I could do it. But the question is, does everyone want me to stop? Or should I torture MrBeast more?
And now, as a special treat, here's the entire execution from start to finish.
And you could have it all. My empire of dirt.
Yesterday, I killed MrBeast, and today I need to get rid of the evidence. We also have the issue of donations, as the Help Quinton Kill MrBeast fund at MrBeastHasNoSoul.com has raised $952 since he died. My idea was that for every dollar in that fund, I would place MrBeast's remains into boiling water for 10 seconds. I've concluded that Jimmy's lower body would not be safe to boil, so instead we'll have to give this part of him a respectful and proper burial. Now that I've officially cleaned the one part of my kitchen that will be on camera for this, I decided to start off by boiling the beast for 38 minutes. While we wait for him to finish up, how about we check out how some of you have been responding to this series so far? Can you please stop posting shorts? Portrait mode videos make me irrationally angry. Low-key tired of the MrBeast content, not gonna lie. This makes you both look bad with how planned this looks. Quinton, I'm gonna be honest, man, I'm starting to wonder if Legal Eagle even messaged you at all. This clout thing feels kinda gross. Who the fuck is Legal Eagle? I'm confused. Why doesn't Quinton not like MrBeast? Is it just because he's more successful than him? Ah, this guy gets it. According to this list, a guy with 1 million followers is more what is this? How did this get in here? So at this point, Jimmy's 38 minutes are up, but after he was pulled, I didn't really see any major results. And so I put Jimmy onto boil for an entire hour. So while we wait on that, here's more audience reactions. What is one guy gonna do with 40 million years of water? Thank you for being so funny, Mr. Quinton Reviews. Garfield man, I showed you to my almost boyfriend yesterday, and he locked in so hard, and every time he'd laugh, I'd go, yeah, I just put you on peak. Okay, now here's the question. Did he lock in on my content, or did he lock in on you? Because we both know what's more important. Tell him to make an account and subscribe. I want my damn plaque. After sitting in boiling water for almost an hour and 40 minutes, MrBeast's decapitated head looks just about the same. But I still had one crazy idea up my sleeve.
Time for my favorite internet show you guys are too young to remember. Is it a good idea to microwave this? Okay, we did the experiment, and after 1 minute, he's starting to melt a little. We found his weakness. He doesn't like the microwave. Yay!
So, come back tomorrow when we will be microwaving Jimmy until our donations run thin, or it ends up being really unsafe and I have to go to the ER. For those of you who walked in late, this week we have been trying to dispose of the remains of MrBeast. And yesterday, we discovered his weakness. While hours of boiling water did absolutely nothing, when he's microwaved for even a minute, it causes him to melt.
For instance, this morning, I let him run in the microwave for another minute, and it caused his nose to melt in an odd position. So naturally, I decided to put him back in for some more time. So while we wait, let's read some more of those comments.
Okay, man, stop milking this. Funny you calling someone out for having no soul while you drag out a situation just for clout. Just post the whole story, Lamau. Locked TF in. Oh, we found the situationship guy. Thank you for reading out my dumbass comment. Quinton Reviews good, MrBeast still bad.
Oh my god.
At this point, I probably should have taken a break, but instead, I put Jimmy in for even more time. But within about 20 seconds, the microwave was spewing nauseating smoke, which only seemed to get worse as I tried to take Jimmy out.
God.
As you can see here, half of Jimmy's head has been taken over by the burning plastic rot, leaving him reminiscent of Two-Face from Batman, or maybe the monsters from The Curse of Fenric. At this point, I wasn't sure what to do, so I ultimately decided to boil the aftermath for another hour to see if this would change its composure. So here's some final comments.
Damn, MrBeast might not have a soul to sell, but Quinton does, and he's gonna sell it. This guy just hates MrBeast like he's Hitler, ignoring everything good he has done. MrBeast is cool. Thank you, Fluttershy. I appreciate your input. We in the Quinton Reviews slowly losing his grip on reality arc. What do you mean? Can't believe becoming a MrBeast shill is why I'm unsubscribing from one of my favorite channels. What the fuck is 2025? Dude, you're being ridiculous. There are far better reasons to unsubscribe from me than that. Once the hour had passed, I was delighted to learn that the boil had some effect this time, specifically turning Jimmy's tumor from green to brown. But I wasn't sure what to do past this, so I decided this was enough for today. If you have any ideas on the final things I should do to Jimmy, leave them in the comment section below. But for those of you who walked in late, we are in the final days of our campaign to torture MrBeast to benefit charity. Last time, after I managed to give the Last of Us virus to Jimmy, I asked you guys what I should do next, and here's what some of you had to say. As I mentioned last time, temperature shocking him should lead to more deformities. 10 minutes in boiling water, 10 minutes in the freezer, repeat ad nauseum. Alright, I can do that. As the man said, we'll boil Jimmy, then freeze him, then boil him, and so on. Anyways, freezing and boiling Jimmy in repetition didn't really do anything, so let's just move on to something else. Be careful not to poison yourself with the fumes of melting... thanks man, appreciate the heads up. Maybe add something like vinegar or something to eat at the plastic. Alright, you guys are really dead set on trying to make boiling water work here. I'm not gonna waste time on this one, it didn't do anything except make my home smell like Easter Sunday. I think cooking oil would damage it a bit. Well, the problem is, that also sounds like it would damage me. This is gonna sound demented, but if you put it in a jar of acetone for a while, you might be able to shrink his head. Alright, it's time for a sentence I had hoped I'd never have to say. It's time to put this MrBeast toy in a jar. I did this in two main waves. The first one had some watered down acetone because I didn't have much, and then I went out and bought more, and the second wave was a pure mixture. The first thing I noticed is that Jimmy eventually stopped floating, and as I left him overnight, the water began to take a sickly color. Also, if you look closely, you might be able to see me coming in at the end to record the audio you're listening to right now. You'll recognize that my cat is running all over the place because I'm in the room now. Hi. Hello. Okay, so I carefully removed him from the jar of acetone. The first thing I can tell you is he is very spongy now. He's like a sponge. Oh, and I guess he's coming off on me. I guess the paint is now wet. I mean, at some point you gotta ask, oh, that's not pretty. That's not pretty at all, is it? He's like a cupcake. Oh, this is terrible. Why did I agree to do this? I think this was fun. This was a fun one. We had some fun. He's, I
I've got acetone all over me now. And he is nowhere near as sturdy as he used to be. Wow. Look at that. Oh, jeez. Just flicked a bunch of acetone into my face. But yeah, so now the question is, what are we gonna do tomorrow? Because today I'm probably gonna wash my hands. I wonder how flammable this is now. The more I do this, the more MrBeast becomes a part of me.
For those of you who walked in late, for the past few days we have been trying to dispose of the remains of Jimmy Beast, and yesterday I asked you guys what I should do next. Now that he is spongy and absorbent, draining him of acetone and then freezing him in a block of ice will surely mean he shatters on impact if dropped from a substantial height. Alright.
Well,
To the end of the video, you mentioned wondering how flammable he is after spending the night in acetone. How about you find out? Okay.
Not very flammable, it turns out.
I think that'll be it for today, because I actually want to spend the rest of this short on a more serious topic. This has all been about raising money to benefit charity, and our campaign actually ends at the end of August. This means that all of this is coming to an end, and I need to remind all of you to please visit MrBeastHasNoSoul.com and consider donating. We are frustratingly close to having raised $3,000. So here's my idea. If you want to have an influence on what I do to Jimmy on his final day on Earth, leave it as a comment on a donation. I can't promise this will be the only place I pull inspiration from, but it will be the first source I consider. For those of you who walked in late, for the past few days we have been trying to dispose of the remains of Jimmy Beast, and yesterday I asked you guys what I should do. Sorry, just had to get that out of my system. But no, seriously this time, for those of you who walked in late, since late August we have been trying to dispose of the body of James Earl Beast. Last time I told you guys that I would do whatever you wanted, and it seems to me that there was pretty universal agreement that everyone wants to see me run over Mr. Beast with my car. So let's do that! So that was pretty fun. What's up next? You should put them in a shitty toaster oven outside, and then some other stuff. Sounds like a plan to me.
Alright everybody, welcome to another brand new episode of the famous show. Is it a good idea to toaster oven this? I was gonna make the aluminum foil shield and do the whole bit, but I realized just now that I do not have any aluminum foil, and I didn't feel like going out to get any. Alright, so toast oven's on, and it is, I think, at the max temperature. No, I think we want it like right there. 450 degrees. And just in case, I did get a little fire extinguisher in case this all goes to hell. She wants out, but I don't think this is a good time right now. I'm gonna check this out. Yeah, that's toasty.
So initially, I was being very careful and watching the oven intently to make sure nothing went wrong. But then my ADHD kicked in and I realized I had left my phone indoors, so I slipped in real quick, not realizing how many rooms I would have to look through before finding it. And while I was gone, my cat took the opportunity to sneak outside. When I finally made it back outside, I was met with Bon Bon racing indoors alongside a very odd burning smell.
Okay. So we're having some progress here. Wow.
Anyone have any final requests before we end things for the day? You should force him to watch dick figures while he's on fire. Okay.
Jimmy, this was an extremely influential series. It was ahead of its time in many ways. You kind of had to be there, Jimmy. I know you don't have a lot of experience with internet content that is culturally influential, but I mean, dick figures, it kind of changed the game. You know what I mean? It really changed. You know, I actually think this might be where D's Nuts is from. That's contested. Yeah, back in the day, if you've watched that frame by frame, I don't know if it's still there, but there was some nudity there. And back in the day, Jimmy, that was, you know, when you're a 12-year-old, that's awesome. You know, you can get excited about that. Wow. Pretty good, Jimmy. Pretty good show.
I got this.
All right. All right, here we go. Oh, and I should unplug the thing. All right. I think I'll call this video, I Cremated Mr. Beast. So I have some other stuff I want to do, but I think this needs to be it for today. Because this is a nightmare. We need that to cool down. I'm gonna have to keep careful eye on this to make sure it doesn't explode or anything. So I guess that's it for this one, kids. But for those of you who walked in late, Mom, Dad, don't touch it. It's evil. And then they blow up, and you're sitting there like, what the hell kind of ending was that?
1 month ago today, I uploaded a video discussing my recent interactions with James L. Beast. Since then, we have gone on quite a long journey together. We made amends with Jimmy, then blew him up, then we mutilated his corpse and burned his remains to a crisp. In Tron Ares. If you say in Tron Ares at the end, you know, it's fine. But now, it's just about time that we wind down and try to find an ending to this madness. How should Mr. Beast's penance come to an end? I've posed that query in a few videos thus far, so let's see if there's been any kind of consensus. Smash it with a hammer. Or better, will it blend? The suspense! Blender him, please. Hear me out. Blender! But will it blend? 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 That is the question. Blend tech. Please blend him! God, please blend him and don't consume more Mr. Beast fumes! Blender might be safer. Maybe. Run him over, or if not possible, chuck him in a blender. Please blend him up and make him a Mr. Beast slime tutorial! Put him in the blender! Blend? That is the question. If I could recommend another blend, I'd ask for him to put You know, I'm starting to get the feeling that you guys want me to put Mr. Beast into a blender in Tron Ares. So, will it blend? That is the question.
God, I've got something in my eye, but my hands are covered in just junk. works. It might not blend.
Yesterday, we put MrBeast into a blender to try and eviscerate him, but we ran into a problem when the machine suddenly got clogged up. The good news is that I naturally anticipated this, and I had a plan. All we need to get things moving again is a little liquidity, and I think we can do this by using some of the tools gathered for the saga so far. First, I added this pack of feastable candy bars that I've had since this whole thing started. After this, I added a little liquid by shooting that fire extinguisher for a few seconds. The positive of doing it this way is that I'm fairly certain my blender won't catch on fire now. Or, if it does, at least it won't start from the inside. Finally, I added in some of the Play-Doh that I originally bought to clean the glitter off of my contaminated table. But there's only one way to see if this would be enough.
It's more blended than it was, but I think we're gonna need like some water and more Play-Doh.
For those of you who walked in late, for the past 2 days, I have been giving in to my audience's biggest request, putting the charred remains of MrBeast into a blender. On day 1, I managed to get my machine clogged up, but with some added ingredients, we got things moving. But it still wasn't quite what I wanted, so I went and got some water to really turn this into a dude smoothie. Speaking of water, I should stop here to plug our campaign at MrBeastHasNoSoul.com. This campaign was primarily meant to be an August thing, but it's actually still possible to donate right now. Here's some of my favorite comments left on donations. Hopefully this water won't cause food poisoning, like Mr. Beast Burger. If Mr. Beast had a soul, where would all his money fit?
I felt compelled to donate all of this money because of Jimmy's joke. This is my very real opinion.
What's Mr. Beast's least favorite cuisine? Soul food. See, it's funny because he doesn't have one and he might be a racist.
All right, here we go. Huh. It truly looks like some kind of horrifying nightmare. It really kind of looks like we ground up Jimmy Beast, which of course we did.
Well, folks, we've done it. And maybe, just maybe, this should be the end. We have done so much to this monstrosity that he doesn't even resemble his former self in the slightest. So unless someone out there has an extremely enthusiastic request that is also strangely fitting for the circumstance, I don't know how we would keep this going.
Willy Waffle! Willy Waffle! Will! Hey! Waffle!
Fine, I'll do that tomorrow, Jesus. But for those of you who walked in late, last week we went through the process of grinding MrBeast into a nice, smooth puree. And at the time, I thought that's where we'd be ending things. But a very vocal fan made a suggestion that was impossible to turn down. Will he waffle?
It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. With anyone. If you should ever wanna be loved by anyone, it's not unusual to hear me cry. I wanna die. Do-do-do-do-do-do. 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 You know, it's funny, I've had this the entire time. And I'm sure this isn't enough, but I've had this the entire time, I just haven't felt like finding it.
So as our little waffle iron tries its best, I try to keep the mess contained with some wet paper towels. Boy, water sure has so many practical applications. It's such an important part of our daily lives. It even helps us cover up for the crimes we've committed. You know, this reminds me of a little ditty from my childhood. It goes like this. Water is wet, oh water is wet. How much wetter could water get? Not any wetter at all, I bet. Oh, water is wet. So I guess this is a good time to remind you to donate to our campaign at MrBeastHasNoSoul.com, which will be benefiting those who don't have easy access to clean water. Let's go ahead and read some more of the comments left on donations by viewers like you.
MrBeast is the Antichrist.
To the continued destruction of MrBeast!
Water is good.
MrBeast, please give me money!
And hey, fun fact, the top donation right now on our campaign is from the account Free, and it reads, "Somebody take the top spot from me." And yep, that's still the top donation. That really bothers me.
Guess a little more? Yeah, that would fix it. This was such a nice table. Well, you know, that's a lie, but still, it's now a worse table. My God.
Well, it looks like we're out of time for today, so be sure to come back next time when we find out just how cooked Jimmy can get. For those of you who walked in late, for the last few episodes we have attempted to cook the legendary Jimmy Beast into a waffle, and while the initial results weren't pretty, I decided to top him off and keep going.
Guess a little more? Yeah, that'll fix it.
You know, doing this part of the challenge, trying to waffleize MrBeast, it has to make you think about one of the oldest debates in the culinary space. What's better, pancakes or waffles? Now, I think this is a complex topic. It's a little more complex than most people will say. I will start off, and I'm gonna have more to say. I'm gonna start off by saying that if we're just talking about texture, it's waffles every day of the week. The feeling of biting into a well-made waffle, it's just a great way to start the day. But if we're talking purely about flavor and the ability to absorb and almost adapt flavor, the pancake wins every single time. Because, you know, the waffle's great, but you pour syrup on it, you put butter on it, or strawberry, or whatever you're gonna do, and it's just like, everything clumps together into those little holes. You can't really spread it out evenly, you know, and that flavor is not really going to become a part of the waffle. It's going to be something on top of the waffle, whereas with pancakes, you truly change the experience of the pancake. And I think the reason that this is so interesting to me is because in many ways, you know, they're the same ingredients, right? It's just they're prepared in different ways, or at least as far as I know. I don't know. I don't work at Waffle House, you know what I mean? Now I'm sure some people in the comments will say, well, Quinton, what about French toast? If you're in a debate of waffles versus pancakes and you say French toast, I think you're a psychopath. I think there's something wrong with you. But that does make me think of a little ditty from my childhood. Kind of an orally passed down tune. And it goes something like this. Do you like waffles? Yeah, we like waffles. Do you like pancakes? Yeah, we like pancakes. Do you like French toast? Yeah, we like French toast. Do, can't wait to get a mouthful.
I think we've officially decided that this has been enough of me poisoning myself for the month. We're gonna let that sit until it cools down. And then meanwhile, I'm gonna go inside and get away from this. Oh, Jesus. Look at this. I probably shouldn't be breathing this in still, because it's still hot, but you can still make out some of the money. So you can still tell it's MrBeast. I think that's beautiful.
For those of you who walked in late, for the last few episodes, we have attempted to cook the legendary Jimmy Beast into a waffle. And while the process was dangerous and the results weren't pretty, at the very least, our experiment was completed.
Okay, so this is the final result here. Will it waffle? I think the answer is no. Now, I keep moving the goalpost, but I really didn't want to just end it here. I felt like this wasn't right, because I wanted to connect it back to the whole idea of water, and I realized one thing I didn't get to do nearly as much of as I wanted was put stuff in my freezer, because we barely used the freezer throughout this entire thing. So I took Jimmy's blended up remains and I added more water, and I want to stick this in the freezer so we can end by being like, oh wow, water freezes. I don't know, you know, it's a good way to wrap it up. So what I have to do now is carefully find a way to take the Jimmy Beast waffle out of here and combine it with the water.
Let's go ahead and see what some of you have had to say in the comments. I feel like I'm watching a psychotic break. This was funny at first, but I think we're getting into too much territory. Making several hour-long retrospectives for Nickelodeon shows would make you this crazy.
Make sure to wash your hands after touching Mr. Bestiality.
This channel used to be good. This went from inflation to gore really quick. This is becoming extreme body horror. This video made me do a poo-poo.
How far we've come.
So while I left MrBeast in the fridge for a few days, I forgot to mop up what was left out here. It all dried up, but in such a way where it became separated from the table. And it almost looks like a tiny bit of MrBeast kind of got left behind and turned into some kind of glob monster. And then that glob monster shed its skin, and that bit is still out there somewhere. But this is pretty crazy looking, I think. Well, it's ice now, which kind of begs the question, what now? Well, tomorrow I will be taking some suggestions from you guys, and we will see what havoc we can cause yet. Mr. Frog.
For those of you who walked in late, may I introduce Mr. Block of Ice. That's right, I took the cremated remains of Mr. Beast, added them into a smoothie, cooked that smoothie into a waffle, then froze what was left of all the previous steps into this block of ice.
In the name of God, now I know what it feels like to be God.
So the question is, what happens now? Let's see what you guys think. Quinton, I'm begging you to put his head on a pike at the end of all this, like a popsicle stick, medieval style. You know, you probably should have requested that one a little earlier. Throw him away. Alright guys, come on. Serious requests only.
Quinton, hear me put. Do you have access to an hydraulic press?
No? Blend him up with some water, freeze it, shatter him, only then will you find out if he had a soul. Alright, a little derivative of a previous request, but still fun. So I found my stepladder, set up some cameras, and dropped Jimmy from the highest point possible.
Whoa. Okay. I'll be honest, I thought it was going to take a few goes to really break it. And I thought initially it would just make the plastic go loose, but nope, there it is. Look at this. I didn't notice this. Not only did ice fly around, but a bit of the pavement or whatever also made some distance. Landed all the way over here next to Mr. Frog. So I'm pretty happy with this initial drop. I think it would be even better, hear me out, if there was something sharp and jagged. So instead of making contact with the ground, it would be making contact with something sharp and jagged that could disrupt it even more. So I just need to find something that is disposable that has somewhat sharp edges. We can rebuild him. We have the technology.
But for those of you who walked in late, I turned Mr. Beast into a block of ice, and now I've asked you guys to tell me what to do to him next.
Day 3 of asking him to cover it in milk.
Acid bath for Jimmy boy.
Snort him like Coke.
Day 4 of asking for Mr. Beast to be covered in gasoline and lit on fire. I included this one because he left it on the video where I did light Mr. Beast on fire. I don't know what you want at that point. I want to see Jimmy's remains chopped up and served in a delicious, healthy salad. Dang old talking about no healthy salad, we get goddamn old bit of plastic, man. Talking about no dang old oxymoron, like a bit of maize up in here with that dang old jumbo shrimp, man.
Drop it on the microwave oven again.
Oh, finally, a sensible request.
We got glass, folks. Yeah, we shattered a bulb, it looks like. It's a great day to not be wearing shoes. Yeah, so obviously, now would be the safe time to stop doing this. We've got a little breakage here. And of course, he's not looking his best. I would say. So obviously, you know, there's only one thing to do from here.
Well, it looks like that's it for today, but before we finish, I want to give someone a big shout out. As you know, a few days ago, our top donor at MrBeastHasNoSoul.com was for $101, and that donation read, "Somebody take the top spot from me." Well, I'm now officially able to give an update as the new top donor has pledged $102 with the message, "Fine." So shout out to Dandus TF for making the world feel sane once again. In fact, thanks to everyone else who continues to donate to our campaign. But for those of you who walked in late, Perfect Loop is welcome. Oh, thanks! For those of you who walked in early, we have transformed MrBeast into a solid block of ice, and I've asked you guys to recommend below what I should do next. And the results are in. Today's official request for what we should do to Mr. Block of Ice is... leave him in the sun. Alright, sure, we can do that. But I don't think it'll leave us with any time to do anything else in this episode. So to pass the time, how about we read some fun comments left by viewers like you in the comments section. Honestly, this series is a great reminder that plastic is nearly indestructible, and we should use/dispose of a lot less of it.
I unsubscribed from Quinton Reviews.
Can't handle the heat, stay out of the kitchen.
This is stupid, feels like a cartoon parody.
Next video on Fallen Titans, your own channel. Quentin, please put me in the video.
No. Wearing my I Hate Elvis t-shirt. Fumes!
I appreciate your commitment, but please don't die from inhaling toxic MrBeast fumes. We still need you. Don't tell me what to do. Damn, dude, you look like you've lost crazy weight.
Fat.
Someone do a wellness check on this guy. WTF? Hey, I just noticed. What's with all the Clippy accounts?
I want my comment to be in the video!
Tough shit! I like how the comments have evolved across this saga. We've passed the point of people yelling at him to stop, and now the rest of us continue to just be happily along for the ride.
This will make me have a wet dream!
Dude, quit! Okay folks, the sun is gone, and it looks like it did its job well. So, anybody got any new requests?
Freeze him! Freeze him! Freeze him!
Okay. Here you go. Be sure to come back next time, because maybe then we'll watch paint dry. But while we wait on that, let's check out more comments. Am I the only one who genuinely thinks Feastables taste good?
You're the guy from Jack's Films.
You can't prove that.
I'm starting to think people are serious when they say those who have no souls can't die. You can mutilate them beyond belief, but they'll stay alive even if they're just merely
Nothing quite like seeing a typo I made being immortalized forever in a YouTube short.
Nothing about YouTube shorts will be immortalized forever. You won't remember any of these in 10 years. This isn't real content, what are you talking about?
Eat him.
Okay, if I see one more account with a weird Clippy avatar, I'm gonna start thinking I'm in a coma or something.
That's not Steve, that's supposed to be a Minecraft figure, not a Blue's Clues figure!
Oh, I think this is from the wrong video, I'm sorry. The desecration of... Today I am continuing my mission to torture the former corpse of MrBeast until we find a suggestion worth calling a finale. So let's see what you've had to say in the comments about where things should go from here. Beating a dead horse, dead equals Mr. Horse equals Beast, is welcome in my household. Never stop milking this. Q losing his mind in real time, and for an excellent cause.
Now put that into a new MrBeast and let the cycle continue. Just shoplift it so you aren't giving him more money.
Hey Quinton, please eat the MrBeast, thank you!
It's not nice to send death threats.
Coma.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Rouge the Bat still does it for me. What do you think, Quinton?
Find Christ.
Please stop putting MrBeast into kitchen appliances. The brave little toaster has taught me that they do have souls, and doing this might give MrBeast a smidgen of theirs.
thank you so much for leaving this comment. I understand how that could be a sensitive issue for you, and I will do my best to keep that in mind for future videos.
Pretty good day.
But for those of you who walked in late, I am on a quest to find one last amazing thing to do to this frozen block of the slushied remains of Vice President J.D. Beast. Numerous people suggested today's mission, but Joseph Martinez 3854 left the first comment that I read, and Joseph wrote, "Sledgehammer." And you know what? I have to say, this one's up my alley. So come on folks, it's time for Mr. Beast to meet Sledgehammer.
Jimmy, this is one of my favorite obscure shows from my childhood. My dad had this on tape. He showed it to me. Around the time I was ready for Monty Python. You know, Sledgehammer is one of the underrated greats, Jimmy. I don't know how to describe it. You kind of just have to see it. It's kind of like The Naked Gun, or as I like to call it, Police Squad. But it was both ahead of its time and like, maybe it was too late. I don't know. I feel like if this show came out today, it would be called, like, innovative. It's a great program if you love deadpan satire.
By the way, sir, your home security guard is in critical condition. Poor man. He's like an employee to me.
We're at the scene of a liquor store robbery that was thwarted by the man beside me, Inspector Sledgehammer. Inspector Hammer, tell us what happened.
Well, miss, I was in this store when two thugs entered and threatened the owner with shotguns. At that time, I drew my magnum and killed them both. Then I bought some eggs and some milk and some of those little cocktail weenies.
Inspector Hammer, was what you did in the store absolutely necessary?
Oh, yes, I had no groceries at all.
This Sledgehammer. Who is he?
A menace.
So it's this kind of like lone gunman investigator cop show, you know? I think, you know, the kind that used to be really big in the 80s, but it's a parody. But it doesn't get too farcical from what I remember, so it's very deadpan. This right here is probably one of my favorite scenes that I can really still remember so strongly.
Good yogurt-eating treat. Building back away? Yeah. We got vermin on the roof. But I got an idea. Who are you talking to? Nobody.
So basically, they're sending in this lone cop because this guy is taking a whole building hostage. And Sledge is like, oh, I can deal with this. Yeah, so one of the first scenes in the show is him blowing up a building and then just strolling into the office to be like, you know, he gets chewed out by the by the officer and everyone's hiding from him because he just blew up a building for no reason. And so, of course, he has to have the scene where his boss calls him in and says, why? What the hell? You're out of order.
You couldn't resist it, could you, Hammer? You couldn't resist blowing up a building on your way to work this morning, could you, Hammer?
Surprise! Party's over, cupcakes. And just who are you, man? Yeah, sucker. And why are you smiling? Why? Because I'm trigger happy, that's why. You dead, man. All right, let's get this over with. I got an aerobics class in the morning. You just ruined my best sports jacket. No, I'm really mad.
You know, Jimmy, as I was saying, I think Sledgehammer is really... It's one of the underrated greats. I don't think it's on any streaming. We're actually watching this on YouTube, Jimmy, which is crazy, because it's such a good show. It had 2 seasons. I think the second one was kind of based on what my dad told me, it's not as good. But it had 2 seasons, and it's not on a streaming site. I'm guessing it's on DVD. But you can watch it for free on YouTube. Of course, they cut out the title sequence, which is iconic.
It's just you and me. Now drop the gun this instant. I know you'd never shoot at a woman.
Sorry, Francine. Call me a feminist.
It was the 80s. He could have made a worse joke there. So even though that's not extremely funny, again, it's a show from the 80s. You know, there was like 10 unfunny jokes, and they went with the funniest one.
My own daughter, just like her mother, an idiot.
You know, to be honest, Jimmy, I'm not sure why so many people in the comment section recommended that I show you the obscure 1980s TV show Sledgehammer. But, you know, I think I'm glad that they wanted this. I think it's a nice moment between us. I guess my audience just has good taste, and they just want to see me watch some good television for once. And yeah, you know, Sledgehammer's pretty goated. Pretty great show, in my opinion. Absolutely worth sitting down and watching on a, what is it, Friday? Saturday? I don't know. I've been sleeping a lot. Not gonna lie, getting enough work done, you know. Sledgehammer. Yeah, fun fact, they did want the song Sledgehammer to be the theme song, but they couldn't get the rights. Yeah, pretty good show, Jimmy. Pretty good. Again, I'm not sure why the audience all seem to want that. But for those of you who walked in late,
I'm taking final requests for what to do to MrBeast as I try to find a suggestion great enough for a proper finale. Let's see what people in the comments want today. Dude, I'm sick of this. You're milking it and I have lost all respect for you. After the toy exploded, it was over. This feels more like a vanity project than a fundraiser at this point. Thank you for your comment, Schlan VL Core Dude 9438. I appreciate your input. Sledgehammer! We did that one last time.
Yeah, I don't know. You seem like a real asshole here. Like, at least Jimmy is doing something to help people. What are you doing, Quinton?
Your mom. Watch paint dry! Watch paint dry! Watch paint dry! Dude, come on. At this point, he's gonna do it if you ask him to. Well, actually, I wasn't going to do that, but now that you specifically have complained, we are absolutely going to do that.
Understand me, son, I'm the slickest they is, I'm the slickest they is, I'm the slickest they is.
alright, let's see how long this takes.
Alright, so while we wait to see when this will get dry, let's check out some more comments.
The MrBeast hate is insane, but agreeable.
Curse of Fenric mention!
Yeah, man, you gotta love Curse of Fenric. Although, if we're being honest, at the time, he looked more like the dude from Time Lash.
That's a pot, a microwave, a blender, a waffle iron, and now a toaster oven. Is this tax deductible?
Oh, it better be. Why do anything on the internet if it's not tax deductible? I mean, come on.
That's weird. Usually when I spray paint something, it's dry by now. But this paint is coming right off, all wet. I don't know why that could be. Do you know what I think will fix this? Another layer.
Long story short, I ended up waiting hours and hours for this thing to dry, and it just never happened. So as we come to the end of Sunlight, we'll have to continue this in the next part. But for those of you who walked in late,
hey guys, it's Scarce here, so it looks like we're gonna have a double upload today.
last time a viewer requested that I don't force you guys to watch paint dry, and so of course I decided to do that. But as the hours went on and daylight started to fade, I decided to move on to another suggestion.
Jimmy, one of my viewers, has requested that I read you a bedtime book. So this is My Daddy Went to Jail and I'm Sad. Sometimes adults make mistakes. My daddy made a big mistake. And he had to go to jail. Daddy still loves me and misses me in jail. Daddy writes me letters, and I write letters back. But remember, kids, those are admissible in court. My daddy prays for me every night before he goes to bed, and I pray for him. You can see here, this kid is shit at drawing. I mean, he looks like 8. As a terrible drawing kid. You gotta work on... You should be doing faces at that age, I don't know. Then one day, my daddy was allowed to leave jail. My daddy will always be my daddy. And we love each other very much. They forgot to take the lens cap off the Polaroid camera. That's a classic blunder. So Jimmy, I don't know if you enjoyed that story, caught up on the major themes. Obviously, we have a man here that's wronged. He's accepted that he's wronged, and he ends up going to jail. But then he and his son both pray to Allah, and Allah grants them relief. And now that he is out, he is free to live life, raise his son, and maybe kill a second online streamer. The moral of the story is always pray to Allah and think of, I don't know, good thoughts. And your daddy might eventually one day come back with the cigarettes he promised he was going to get everybody. All right, Jimmy. I don't know where to... I'll put... Good night. Good night, Jimmy. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Yesterday we spray painted a block of ice, but after a full day, I found the paint was still wet, so I decided to leave it out overnight. So while we check out this time lapse, let's read some more comments.
I'm growing.
Hey, congrats!
Concerned, Quinton.
You know, at a certain point, I think we need to start worrying about Quinton Reviewer.
I still think one day shorts will be converted to normal videos and there will be lots of regret.
Don't worry, brother. Before that happens, I plan on having an intense mental breakdown and deleting everything I've ever posted on the internet.
I heard that cat meow.
Oh, I had to break this to you, but in that specific case, that was actually my breathing. I have asthma. The indomitable spirit of Ireland consumes you.
Why are your comments so ass?
You are what you eat, I guess.
Al couldn't think of this.
Yeah, that's probably true. But to be fair, he's on tour right now, so he's probably busy.
Where is 69-hour schlonk Bigfoot video, Quinton?
Okay, let's put it like this. Some of my projects are on the front burner. Some of my projects are simmering on the back burner. The Bigfoot video is still in the pantry. By the way, if you're watching this video at release, today might be the day that we go from 917,000 subscribers to 916,000. So a special thanks to everyone who leaves. Why do we do this? Well, you know, if we're talking in an existential sense, I've been trying to stockpile content, so I originally started this series as a way to fill in a couple days or weeks in my schedule while I worked on other shorts and main channel videos, but then I had some major delays, and the more people bitched about this series, the funnier it became for me to fill in the scheduling gap that would exist regardless, with just a few more weeks of irritation.
Yeah. It's still wet, guys. It's still wet. I think we gotta move on. I don't know why the paint didn't dry, but there you go. So, any suggestions from here?
Ice Mr. Beast!
All right.
But for those of you who walked in late, yesterday we put MrBeast back in the freeze, so it's once again time to seek out viewer recommendations. This is the first of this series I've seen, and I have to say it's the most confused I've been in some time. What do you mean that's MrBeast? I thought. How did this all start from a tweet I remembered from 5 months ago? I pondered. Now, many minutes later, I understand everything. Godspeed, Quinton. Kill Jonald Beast. This pivot to slop honestly gives me the same feeling I get when a family member becomes a conspiracy theorist. Seeing something or somebody familiar suddenly pretending to be something else, looking at you straight in the eyes and simply repeating your words back at you in a mocking voice. But I'm not gonna be sad over something. Fuck you.
Will this comment make the next short?
That's a damn good question. Technically, the answer is no, because you left this comment 3 shorts ago.
Clicked for the Borat.
My wife! A friend said the Clippy thing is more of a cult. Think about it. Did you see you were not mentioned by name but brought up on the Just Trish podcast? They said there was another big YouTuber who MrBeast started calling and DMing recently. There was more to it, but it made me be like, not a Quinton Reviews mention on a Trisha Payeta's pod? What the fuck is a Trisha Payeta's?
Plug the waffle maker in, if it's safe. IDK.
So, this is easily one of the most common suggestions now, and I have thought about this for days on end, and I just can't figure out a safe way to do this. The best idea I've had so far is I could buy one of those travel power banks that has a plug on it. That way I'm not risking destroying any of the fuses in my home. But the worst case situation here could be the battery catching on fire, exploding, or both. And I just don't think my neighbors would appreciate that very much.
Sledgehammer it.
Sledgehammer it? Oh, okay. I get what you guys want now. And I think that's a request I can happily oblige.
Oh, I just realized. You guys probably wanted me to hit the block of ice with the sledgehammer. No, that's stupid.
Okay, so a few days ago, I made a pretty big mistake. You see, on Wednesday, I received a comment from someone who was clearly very funny, talented, and well-endowed. And their comment requested that I drop MrBeast on a microwave oven. But when acting this out, I accidentally dropped Jimmy on a toaster oven. Something you were all very quick to point out. And I felt this was something I had to fix for the public record. So I went on Facebook Marketplace and I bought a microwave oven for 10 bucks. And after a few days of prepping, it's time to drop MrBeast on this microwave oven.
Oh no! Oh God! I screwed it up again! I was supposed to drop MrBeast on the microwave, but I actually dropped the microwave on MrBeast! Oh God! What have I done? Jimmy, can you hear me? Are you there, man? Oh Lord, have mercy. Oh Lord. What have I done? What have I done? Come on, Jimmy. We can still do this, man. Come on. Damn it, why did I have to buy such a durable microwave oven? Ah! Oh my God. It just hit me. This is perfect. This is how things were supposed to be. Don't you guys see? This is how we win. Not by saving what we love, but by killing what we hate. This is how it was supposed to go. Thank you. Thank you. You've taught me so much.
We ended the last video with an intense feeling of closure that was impossible to ignore, as MrBeast's fragmented remains and so much more were laid out on the pavement before us. It would be understandable if you thought that this was the much-hyped finale to our journey. But was it? Well, this all started because I wanted to raise some money for charity, and so I felt the only way to bring this to an end was to recognize our campaign at MrBeastHasNoSoul.com, where we have raised more than $3,700 to help those in need gain access to clean water. For a while, the top donation on our campaign was for $101 and read simply, "Somebody take the top spot from me." Weeks later, after much waiting, DandisTF donated $102 with the caption, "Fine." But this actually didn't last very long, because just a few days later, Hotzenplotz donated $103 with the description,
"First, suck it, DandisTF. Second, shoot him with a potato gun or a real gun. You're American after all."
It would be one thing to ignore a request left in the comment section, or even a lower tier donation, but it just wouldn't feel right to ignore our new top donor, especially when they've sent such a compelling request. And so, one last time, let's do this.
Ah, it finally happened. I cut myself on glass. Ooh.
Now, while I waited on the freezing process to take hold, there were several complicated logistics to figure out. Potato guns are not regulated by the ATF, or as I like to call them, bat fee. Basically, spud guns are not legally firearms as long as they're used for recreation. But make no mistake, these things are dangerous and can get you killed. Because of that, I quickly found out that it was hard to figure out where I could or should shoot off a potato gun. Obviously, it was something I didn't want to risk in my backyard. It could quickly become a danger to my neighbors. And legally, I had no authorization to shoot one off at a public park or a nature trail, not to mention that this would still be unsafe as I risked harming pedestrians. But as you guys will quickly see, I did end up finding a place that fit our needs. For those of you who walked in late, when we last spoke, I had been trying to figure out where I could legally and safely use a spud gun, and after doing some thinking, I eventually found just the spot. You see, I have a family friend named James who lives out in the country, let's say, and he has a pretty big property where I figured it'd be pretty easily safe to shoot one of these off without any risk of someone getting harmed. And I would also have legal authorization from the landowner, obviously. So after going out shopping for some fresh potatoes, it was time for us to take a little trip out to the country.
Come on, jump a little higher. Feel a little lighter. We were once upon a time in love. Accidentally in love.
After some extended driving, I finally made it to my destination.
Okay.
We good?
Yeah.
So I bought a potato cannon on eBay, and it was a bit of a bigger one, but then they lost it, so I got a refund, and I ordered a smaller one just because it was the only one that would get here in time. I've always been curious about how these work, and I'm sure there are some of them that work differently, but I think this one's very interesting. It's strangely simple. So what you do is you put a potato in here that's big enough that it'll jam it up. So there's no air coming out this end, and that creates a little airtight space. And then you unscrew this, and you're supposed to put a bunch of hairspray in here, and all that this does is make a little spark. And the spark ignites the hairspray, and the combustion pushes the potato out the other end. And I always thought they'd be more complex than that, but apparently they're not. So we're gonna see if we can try and get this one to work. If we can, all right, it's a nice day.
Oh, I don't think that one's gonna blow out.
Yeah. And
Maybe if you cut one in half?
do that if you'll believe it. And then, it's a little gross, but then I think you're supposed to, so we'll try this.
Fire straight into the woods there.
Yeah, that looks good. Here, if you could come spray this hairspray. Okay? Wow! I truly thought it wasn't gonna work. My goodness, and that was barely any hairspray we put in. That was far more effective than I thought it would be.
In a previous video, I mentioned that spud cannons can be a little bit unsafe if you don't use them right. And that ended up being a self-fulfilling prophecy, because while I tested out the spud gun a second time, I actually got hurt. So be sure to come back next time when I will be explaining exactly how I managed to do that. But for those of you who walked in late, while filming this video, I ended up hurting myself. And if you're curious how that happened, well, roll the tape.
Whoa! Yeah,
that was a bit much.
I didn't get to see you shut off, I think.
Oh, it went pretty far.
Damn.
So let's break this down. According to Isaac Newton's third law of motion, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. This specifically applies to motion exchanged between two different objects. If you throw a basketball at a wall, the basketball is exerting force onto the wall, but the wall is thus exerting force onto the ball. If you punch someone in the face, you might break your hand. And if you crash your car into a Waffle House, you're going to, at the very least, have some scratches to buff out. So the idea here is that when the combustion fires the potato through the barrel, the potato also exerts a force in the opposite direction. This caused the lower half to recoil towards me very quickly. But what am I complaining about? Am I really so upset that I got lightly hit in the face by the lower half of a spud gun? Well, no. The real issue took a second to be noticeable, even to me. You see, at the time this happened, my thumb was resting on the ignition switch, and because I wasn't holding the cannon properly and I hadn't recently had a manicure, when the barrel was launched back, my fingernail got caught, and because of that, part of my fingernail was ripped away from that thumb.
I bent my fingernail. I'm messing up my fingers a lot this week.
This ended up looking worse before it got better, although I didn't take any photos past this. And while it did sting for a few days, it healed pretty quickly. So of course, here comes the big question. Should I sue MrBeast? And specifically, should I sue him for $10 million for the physical and emotional injuries that he has indirectly put me through? While I pondered this, I took one last test with the cannon. Now that I was fully confident that I understood how to use the tool in my hands, it was time to reintroduce someone to the narrative. But for those of you who walked in late, I am attempting to complete the final challenge of my MrBeast charity campaign. That final request? Shoot MrBeast with a potato gun. After doing some experiments and being sure that I knew how to use this thing, I got to setting up our final battleground.
You wondering what this is, James? It's a mistake. It's a long story. I decided for a charity I was going to start antagonizing this toy of a specific YouTuber, and
long story short, due to various factors, the series went on a bit longer than I intended it to. So this is supposed to be the finale.
What toy is that?
Oh, the thing is, it's been caught on fire, it's been frozen, I ran it through a blender and then I baked it into a waffle, and the waffle maker ended up in the current concoction. Naturally, you know, just your common, typical late 20s hijinks. My goodness. Usually after like a minute, it'll pop out, but you know, leaving it out in the sun is maybe the best thing for it.
No, it'll have to be out for a while for that to...
Oh, you'd be shocked. Because all that the icing that's to melt is just the plastic has to get loose enough to be flexible. There it goes, you see. So the goal was just to make this flex a little. Damn. That one was close. That one was really close. 3, 2, 1.
With my patience and potatoes running low, I decided to do one shot just close enough to the box that I could be sure it would make contact.
3, 2, 1. That one hit. It's just the potatoes don't affect it.
Of course, that's a solid sheet of ice.
Well, I hit it with a potato gun, maybe more than once. That was the request. Anticlimactic, but whew, I've done worse.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
But for those of you who walked in late,
For the past 2 months, I have been dedicating much of my time to torturing an effigy of MrBeast. And now, we find ourselves here. Last time, I completed our final request as I shot MrBeast with a potato gun. But sadly, the results were anticlimactic. And as we speak, Jimmy still exists in one solid piece, completely undeterred. However, I feel I must keep my word. I promised you guys that once you picked his final form of punishment, that would be it. And now that we have completed his chosen execution, the fact that he survives is merely a formality. I guess you could say that in the end, Jimmy has won. So thank you all for these last several weeks. Thank you for supporting our charity campaign. And I promise in the future I will never again give in to my demons in such a divisive way. With that, I've been Quinton Reviews, and that's all you need.
I know what I'm doing.
Why should I worry? Why should I care?
Well, I figured, what the hell?
I think you should throw that waffle maker out.
Nah, it's fine.
I am recording this video right now because I feel I need to clarify that we are officially done. It is officially over. After yesterday's short, I will never again be torturing an inanimate object and referring to it as Mr. Beast. So I wanted to stop here and thank you all for tolerating my insanity, whether you liked this series or not, and for supporting an important cause. Through our campaign at MrBeastHasNoSoul.com, we raised more than $3,850. In fact, if you go to the official Team Water landing, you will find that we were the 21st most successful community campaign. Although I have to admit that it's always so tempting to look at the people that raised more than us and kind of beat myself up a bit. Aiden Ross's community raised almost $100,000. And I know that he probably gets more views in a day than I do in a year, but come on, man. How did Aiden Ross out-campaign me? I don't even know if Aiden Ross can read. I've also mentioned now that we have a new top donation, as Hotsplots has donated $104 with the comment, "Sorry for that potato gun mishap." Hey man, no need to apologize to me. You can save all those apologies for St. Peter. But yeah, with all jokes aside, obviously there's nowhere we could go from here. I have done to Jimmy just about everything that you possibly could. You know, we boiled him, we burned him, we froze him. He even got punched by James. That one was a freebie. I didn't even ask him to do that. In one of our final shorts near the end, there was a moment where I cut myself and some of my blood got into the Mr. Beast concoction, and everyone freaked out and said that now Mr. Beast was going to try and steal my soul. Well, I'll tell you this, if there was anything resembling a human spirit inside that block of ice, it was exorcised the moment that James's fist made contact. But to be serious, things have been hard this year, and when I finally finish a real video, I hope you guys will be there to watch it. I love you all, and I'm sorry that things have been weird. But this brings an end to this series, which was personally requested and commissioned by James Beast, and so I just want to stop here and say this statement, which is endorsed by him. You guys are great. I love you all. Mr. Beast still sucks. Donald Trump is a pedophile. But for those of you who walked in late, we have officially come to the end of the universally celebrated Quinton Reviews Tortures Mr. Beast arc. This has been a magical journey that has brought only happiness to all of us. But the true source of that power was not me, but you. You guys made this so fun and worth doing every single day. So I wanted to do a final look back framed through your commentary. Does anyone here know if there's a way to have notifications on for a channel, but exclude shorts? Is misunderstanding single? Imagine saying, wow, I really hate Mr. Yeast, and Raheem MrBeast himself comes and asks for help, and I mean are gonna tell Mr. Yeast no?
I want that beast obliterated!
Lord have mercy on the beastling!
I don't follow Mr. Beast, and I don't follow you, yet I've seen you playing with a water balloon for multiple videos. Why the hell are you doing this? I don't know why I care about you blowing up a water balloon and people paying you for it for some reason. Not even a charity, just giving you money so you can continue playing with the balloon!
Thanks for making him pop. Please continue.
Use Mr. Beast as a condom.
Cream him next time. He is so resilient.
When cockroaches finally die off, all that will remain are these shitty little Mr. Beast heads.
Quinton, this is creeping into borderline suicidal behavior.
Kind of poetic, this is how you die.
So you join him, but you also, because you still do hate Mr. Beast, and you decide to torture his voodoo doll without his consent, but you actually works. Wow, that was the most underreaction to your cat being a firebender ever. Angelic cat causes avatar of demonic billionaire YouTuber to burst into flames. Truly a miracle.
Willingly dying of toxic smoke fumes to make sure Mr. Beast is shown dick figures. Mad respect. He's Mr. Burnt now.
He looks like a victim of Pompeii.
The blackness reflects his soul.
This is happening to Donald Trump's insides right now. The forbidden Oreo milkshake. Fern Gully Tim Curry sludge villain origin story. Can't believe Quinton says he hates pancakes.
I stopped watching this series for a bit. Why is he a waffle now?
The Beast of Theseus. Wait, this isn't iCarly. This is turning into Mr. Beast commits property damage. At least he's having fun. Yay, we're watching Dry! Damn. The Jimmy torture arc is almost over, and Mr. Beast has to watch in agony as you destroy his prized possessions while reaping the benefits for both you and him. Me Queest, you're doing great! Decided to check on this channel since I haven't seen an upload in a long time. What the fuck is this?
But for those of you who walked in late,